Happy Monday, everybody. Welcome to Unit 6 for English 107. I apologize if the video is a little weird today. I'm in a Disney World hotel room, so it's dark in here, but I don't know. I can see myself, so I think it's fine. This is what I'm doing here. I think I mentioned to you guys, but I'm not 100% sure. This weekend was the Springtime Surprise, which is one of the Run Disney events, the last of the 2024 to 25 season. And I did the 10-mile race yesterday. I can barely move, but I have a brand new shiny medal. Yay. So thank you for your mental support, those of you who knew and were sending quick running vibes yesterday. I appreciate it. So let's take a look at what we're doing in Unit 6 as we normally do, and we shall get going. Well, I'm going to need to turn on the student view too. I didn't do that yet, so we'll turn this on so it looks right for you guys. All right, so Unit 6 is all about literacy. When we think of literacy in general, of course, we mean typically the ability to read and write, but we are in a digital age where sometimes we find resources that are of questionable value and worth. So that's what we're focused on this week. You are going to be looking for sources, for papers to support your work throughout your college career. So that's what we're focused on. How do you know if you're getting a good source? What is the role of technology? How can we determine what we're finding and where we're finding it at? Evaluating those sources, things of that nature. So, as usual, of course, you want to start with the readings and resources. And this week, you have some articles on soft skills that you're going to be using for your assignment this week and next week. You have a chapter 25 from the Johnson textbook, the one we use all the time, on writing annotated bibliographies, because that's what you're going to be doing this week. You have some information on in-text citations and reference entries from our favorite citation source, scribber.com. And then there's some additional information about information literacy and digital literacy. So check those out. Last two are super important. The first one is called the CRAP test, and I'm not a big fan of that acronym, but it is a way that we analyze resources. The initials, you will make more sense once you watch the video, so I'm not going to give anything away, but do watch the video. You are going to be applying the CRAP test to the articles that you are using for your annotated bibliography this week. There's also a video on using post-university's library, which is super, super important. As we move forward, and as you've seen with many of the resources that you've been given to use, these are coming through the post-university library as opposed to coming directly off of the internet. And that is one of the key ways that we know that we're getting valuable resources. So take a look at that and how to access library databases. Once you have done, of course, your readings and resources, you do have an interactive this week. In this particular one, it's going to focus on citing evidence, which, to be fair, is one of the hardest things we learn in English classes in college. It doesn't necessarily come naturally to people, and so it can be one of the trickier things that we learn how to do, and one of the most important. So take some time with the interactive exercise. And then you have two graded assignments this week. So Unit 6's discussion board is about drowning in technology. As the videos in this week's readings and resources explain, we live in a world filled with media and technology. Way back in 1983, I shudder to think sometimes how long ago that was. I was just starting high school, and I'm old, so it's a long time ago. Daniel J. Boorstin stated in the New York Times, technology is so much fun, but we can drown in our technology. The fog of information can drive out knowledge. It's 40 years ago, right? And 42. What's interesting about it to me is that when I was that in that period, I didn't really have access to a lot of technology. I did not own a computer. My family did not own a computer. There were computers at school, but it was something that was like a foreign concept to me. We did have, cable TV had come along and things of that nature, but I didn't even own a cell phone until I was in graduate school. So it's interesting to me that even back in 83, someone was talking about technology and the dangers of too much of it. So that's what you're focusing on. Explain your thoughts about that quote. And if Burston's ideas about technology are accurate in today's world, I would argue, of course, they're accurate. They're probably way more accurate than they were in 1983. Please use as many examples from your own life as you can. One example that I would give is the fact that I do rely so heavily on my cell phone for everything, like even, using it as a computer. Many of you report that you do most of your schoolwork on your phone, which would have been unheard of in 1983 for sure. So that's what you're going to focus on. Aim for a fully developed sentence or paragraph, 6 sentences or more. And then, of course, come back and respond to your peers. Two are required this week by Sunday night. So post your own response as early as you can. That way, people have a chance to see it and you guys have a chance to interact. And then we get to another new style of assignment. So we have done Word documents using APA format to set up a Word document. We have used PowerPoint in the vision board assignment. And this week we are going to be using Word, but we're using a new template that you have not seen before. How to create an annotated bibliography. It is a table. So you're just going to fill in the blanks. I will again, like the vision board assignment, I will highly, highly suggest using this template because otherwise you will forget elements that you were supposed to include. So let's go over the assignment first, and then we'll take a look at the template. In this week, we learned about reliable sources and how to cite them in our writing. For this assignment, you will create an annotated bibliography for resources provided in this unit. So you don't have to go find information. You're using those first 3 articles that are in the readings and resources. Using the template, create an annotated bibliography for those 3 articles. And these are the elements that must be there. And people do miss them. So please, please, please pay attention now. And when we look at the sample, provide the title in one spot, a summary, there's a spot for that, and a full APA reference citation for each article. There's a separate spot for that. So the title is actually going to be in 2 places. And this is what I think throws some people off. You will have the title in one box and you will have the full reference in the other box, which will include the title as well. The summary needs to be 3 to 5 sentence paragraph that explains the main idea and the most important parts of the article. And then for each of the articles, you're going to go through the CRAP test, currency, reliability, authority, and purpose, and choose whether or not the source is reliable. Okay, so there's a little place for yes or no for that as well. It must be submitted as a Word document or a PDF. You don't have to use Word. You could use Google Docs, you could use Pages, but you do need to save it either in Word format or as a PDF and upload it to the assignment. I've still got a few folks who I'm trying to help you, but you have to do this in a real Word document or other word processing document. If you are having laptop problems or you do not have access to a laptop at home, you need to go to a library. You absolutely have to do this assignment in Word or something that is comparable. So doing it on your phone is not going to work for this assignment. You'll have, of course, the rubric. Are the titles there? Are the citations there? Are the 3 summaries there? Did you do the CRAP test for all 3? And have you properly formatted and proofread your work? Easy peasy. There's the rubric for this week. Okay, so now we're going to take a look at the template. And I'm going to have to do some resharing here. Oops, hold on 1 second. Gotta open it first. There we go. Okay, let me share it now. All right, so the Word document, like I said, is set up as a table. It's not just a plain Word document. You won't have a cover page this time, a title page, but everything that you need is in these boxes. Now, usually I give you a sample document of my own. I am not doing that this week because filling in the parts is a part of the assignment. I'm going to show you on here, but you're going to need to use the template directly from the class. I mean, I can give you a blank document, but I'm not filling in anything. So we're going to fill it in now, though, so you know how to do it. All right, so let's go get the first article. So that means we need to go back to the readings and resources. And is a lack of soft skills keeping you from opportunity? That is from the Black EOE Journal, and it is part of the library. So we do need to sign in. All right, so when you open something from the library, and you've done this before, but just kind of as a reminder, you have a lot of options. You can download it, you can click Access Now so that you can read it. You have to click something or you can't read the article. And you do need to read the article in order to write a summary of it. So you're going to click Access Now, and it's going to come up in PDF form. But before we even leave this screen, I'm going to remind you and show you that this button with the little quotation marks is the Cite button. Now, we want APA, so we're going to choose APA, and we're going to copy to clipboard. All right. I'm going to come back over to my Word document. That is not my Word document. There we go. And that reference, the full reference, goes in this box right here, APA reference. So we're going to click Enter. I'm going to enter a couple of times just so it shows up a little better. And we're going to paste by matching the formatting because we want these italics for Black EOE Journal to stay italicized. If you forget, you can re-italicize them if you just hit paste. But that is the APA reference. Now, we also need to put the title in this other box. So I'm going to copy. Oops, I don't want the whole thing. I don't know why my mouse is really being troublesome. There we go. Copy that. We're going to put that over here in this box, paste it in. I don't really need to match formatting, but I'm going to go ahead and do it. And that is the title. You absolutely have to have both of those boxes filled out. This is where you will do the crap test and you will say yes or no. Okay, simple, simple. I'm going to put yes for this. Excuse me. And then here is where you will write your summary. Remember, it needs to be at least 3 sentences and it needs to give the main points and important aspects of the document. All right. That is what each of these will look like. Now, it mentioned in the assignment that the citation is also available in the readings and resources, and that is true. So if we click back over here, you'll notice this is the same as it came out. Like this is the APA um, citation. But I want you to get in good habits of getting the real honest to goodness citation. The other thing is if you're getting the citation from the library, this is not going to be a link, which is helpful because if it is a link, it's a lot harder to get it to paste in properly. This one is the only one that is just found on the internet. So I'm going to remind you of where we go to find citations for websites. So we're going to copy the thingy, the URL. My brain just lost that word. And we're going to open one of my favorite websites that we all should know and love by now, which is Scribr. We're going to click on the citation generator and put the website address in the box and click Cite. So here is the citation that we got. Now, this does look a little different from the one that is in the um, readings and resources folder. If you use that one, it's absolutely fine, but I'm going to use this one because I really, like I said, I want to train you guys on how to find the information the right way and the complete way going forward, because you will need to be able to do that for sources that you find yourself, not that are provided for you. So let's go back to the document. Now that was the third one, so I'm going to go down to the third box and I'm going to put that citation here. Oh, that's weird. It did a weird thing with the, I don't know why that's, okay, there it is. Now it shows up. Now, again, I need the title again. So I'm going to copy the title. This thing is driving me crazy. There we go. I'm going to put that here. I'm going to put the yes or no. I'm going to put yes. And then this is where, of course, I would write my summary. So you've now seen what two of them will look like. But again, I'm not saving this. So you're going to need to do this for yourself. I will say, like I said, if you want to use the citation that's already provided for you, you certainly can, but you have to open the article to read it anyway. But let's show how different that looks. So we're going to copy this and I'm going to put that one up here just so you can see both of them at the same time. Um, this would be perfectly acceptable. You do not, however, need a bullet. I would take that off, but let's leave it like that. If that's what you use, that's fine. But this is a better citation. Okay. So this is fine. This is okay. This is fine. This is better. All right. That's it. That's your marching orders for week number 6. Again, I'm sorry, but I'm not saving it. I will be doing this demonstration again live in the workshop tomorrow evening on Tuesday. If you can join us and you want to see it and be able to ask live questions about it, feel free, of course, to pop in. And otherwise, if you have questions, do shoot me an email and I'm happy to help you. But that is what you're working on this week. So good luck, enjoy. I'm going to enjoy my last day of hotel life and get back to the real world tomorrow. So take care, everybody, and I will see you either tomorrow night or next Monday. So take care.